Yo, what's up, everyone? The All-Star break is finally over, and we're back with a nice 13-game slate for Friday. So hopefully, guys, you all had a nice All-Star break, a nice relaxing break, and we're ready to get back into the daily grind of baseball. So let's get right into it. You can drop a like and subscribe down below. I also gave away my last NFL free season pass over the break on Twitter, so if you want to get in for NFL, still have the sale going on. You can visit the website. I'll put the link in the description for that. And if you enjoy for baseball, it's the same place, dfsprocess.net. Anyway, let's get right into it. You can drop a like and subscribe. Let's try to get 100 likes on the video at least. Today at pitcher, we have a decent number of good arms at the top. Garrett Cole is by far the most expensive pitcher at 11.5. Then we have, looks like Domingo Germán is going to be facing the Blue Jays. This is the most puzzling price point I've ever seen. Lament here at pitcher, 9,800 for him. If you look on a rival site on FanDuel, he is 5,600. He's one of the cheapest pitchers on FanDuel, and he's one of the most expensive pitchers on DraftKings against the Braves. I don't know what DraftKings is doing here with this price tag, but definitely not going to be on him. I like a couple guys down here below 9,000. My favorite being Caleb Smith, 8,600 for Smith. I love the price tag on him. He was pitching like an ace for the whole season. He was injured for a bit of it. Missed exactly a month, came back, his first start back, threw 95 pitches, wasn't on any sort of a pitch count. So that's a great sign. He has the ability to go over 100 like he's done a couple times. I love the matchup here against the Mets. They have a decent amount of lefties in the lineup like Jeff McNeil, Cano, Conforto. So I feel like he's going to be able to have some success here, especially pitching at home in Miami. This season, he's been lights out at home, just a 1.84 ERA at home compared to a 4.64 ERA on the road. Slugging is under 300 at home. Batting average against is under 200. He has a 28% K rate to both sides of the plate. He even strikes out righties at a high rate. So if the Mets throw a couple righties out his way, a couple more righties than usual, should have some success against them. Just a tremendous strikeout pitcher, and it's a really solid matchup here against the Mets. On the season, he has 88 strikeouts in 72 innings. Does give up a decent amount of power, but this ballpark, he hasn't really given much power at home. This park should eat up some home runs. I love him at this price point. And second pitcher is going to be kind of in that same range. I like Yanni Chirinos here at 8,400. Just going to get some safe pitchers. We do have some really cheap pitchers on DraftKings today, which you could throw in like a tournament. We'll talk about a couple of them, but I think Chirinos just makes a decent amount of sense here. He's just pretty consistent. He's never really going to blow up, especially in a matchup here against the Orioles on the road in Baltimore. The ballpark is obviously a downgrade, but I do like the fact that he's starting to pitch over 100 pitches. He's gone over 100 pitches in 4 of his last 6 starts. After, first couple months, he was just going like 70 pitches to like 90 at the max. Lots of 60 pitches there. I feel like it's a good spot for him. He's a heavy favorite against Bundy. He also hasn't got a win in a while, so that's why he has kind of flirted in the teens. But he does go deep. He's gone at least 6 innings in like 5-6 straight starts, and he does have some strikeout upside. This Orioles team does strike out quite a bit against righties. I like Chirinos here at 8,400. Some other guys I do like here at pitcher. I think Robbie Ray for GPPs makes sense at 7,900. I also don't think that Vargas is the worst option at 78 pitching in Miami. And then down here, guys like Felix Pena at 67 I think makes a decent amount of sense. You're not going to get like 100 pitches out of him, but at this price point, he can pay off the salary. And then we have a bunch of guys under 5,000 here with Sanchez, Anderson, Norris, Cole. Well, Cole's not going to pitch much, but Chavez. I think Chavez makes sense for GPPs just because his price point is so cheap. Even though I want to target some Astros bats against him, I think he can still have a decent game here at 4,000. His price tag was, he's been pitching like a starter. He's been pitching 70 to 90 pitches. Just a way too cheap at 4,000. And I think maybe Daniel Norris makes some sense, but those are for GPPs for cash. I think you want to go pay up a little bit at pitcher just because we do have some value options today. So these are the two that I like quite a bit. Starting off at third base, I like Manny Machado a ton. He is only 4,100, one of the cheapest price points for him in a while. He's been in a little slump heading into the break, but before that, he was the hottest hitter on the planet before he went into like a mini slump. But even in that slump, he wasn't striking out a ton. I love the spot here against a lefty in Dallas Keuchel. Keuchel also has really tailed off with the strikeouts, so Machado should be able to put the ball in play against him. And this season against lefties, he's been just dominant against lefties, as you'll see with the numbers. This season, he is batting an incredible .375 against lefties. He has 7 home runs and just 56 at-bats. That gives him a incredible .429 ISO and .804 slugging percentage. Just hits the ball hard. He has a 50% hard hit rate against left-handed pitching this season, just a 16% soft contact rate, and a decent 31% fly ball rate. I like the spot quite a bit just facing a lefty, and Dallas Keuchel has tailed off a bit over the past couple seasons. He does give up a decent amount of contact. He is pretty good, however, at limiting fly balls, so he could have a decent game here against the Padres, but usually I like to target, if I was going to play a pitcher against the Padres, I would play a righty against them, but I think they're decent against lefties with all the righties that they have on the lineup. And looking at some of the numbers, like Tatis crushes lefties, so does Machado. I'll take a chance on Machado, who's so cheap at 4,100. So far this season, he's given up a .469 slugging and a .284 average to righties. It's an 89 batter sample size. He just has a 10% K rate. xFIP is almost at 5, so he does struggle a bit against righties, as you can see. And the ground ball rate is much higher against ground ball is much higher against left-handed bats, so decent sign here. If you look at the career numbers for Keuchel, he's been a decent pitcher, but if you look right here, in 2018, he was still giving up some high average to both sides of the plate, righties and lefties. And righties can have some success. He had a 4.12 xFIP last season against righties. Doesn't strike a ton out. I like Machado at just 4,100. Given how hot he was in June, I think he can get back to it following a nice little break. At shortstop, I love Didi Gregorius. Didi here is only $4,300, a nice cheap price point. The Yankees are probably going to be the most popular stack today. And I'll touch on some other stacks that I like at the end of the video, but Didi Gregorius, nice and cheap here, projected to bat right in the heart of the lineup, probably 5th or 6th. This season, he's done pretty much all of his damage against right-handed pitching. Aaron Sanchez has really tailed off after he got off to a decent start. He's really been terrible the last couple months. And Gregorius so far this season, .333 average against right-handed pitching, 3 home runs, and he has a solid 167 ISO and a 500 slugging percentage, just a 16% K rate. So I feel like it's a good spot here for Gregorius here at a 4,300 price point, given how bad Sanchez has struggled against left-handed hitters and just hitters in general over the past month. So now we'll go on to the outfield. First guy that I like is going to be Alvarez here. He's at $4,800 facing Chavez in Texas. Great ballpark upgrade going into Arlington. It's supposed to be like 90 degrees there, so the ball should be flying. Alvarez has done nothing but crush the ball since he's been called up. He was dominant in AAA, and so far in the major leagues, he's done nothing but crush. Ton of multi-hit games for him, ton of power, ton of doubles. If you look at the numbers for him this season, they are incredible against both sides of the plate. And Chavez, he's been decent as of late, but I think some of these Astros will get to him. Even though he's cheap at $4,000, I'll still target some hitters against him. Like Alvarez this season, he has a .340 average, 5 home runs against right-handed pitching, and a really solid .396 ISO. Does strike out quite a bit, but Chavez isn't a huge strikeout pitcher. He's decent, but just hits the ball so hard. A 63% hard hit rate against right-handed pitching, 5.7% soft contact rate is one of the lowest numbers you will see in baseball, and a really impressive 49% fly ball rate for Mr. Alvarez here. I like the spot for him. The price point is decent at $4,800. And last but not least, I like the Angels quite a bit. I like Justin Upton here. He's only $3,800. Really cheap for Upton. He's done nothing but crush right-handed pitching so far this season, and Mike Leake gives up a ton of power to righties. So if you look here for Upton, if you look at the numbers, he's really struggled against lefties this year, and last year was also bad against lefties. But this season he's been great against righties. He's also very cheap, and he bats cleanup, so he should get plenty of RBI opportunities. This season he's batting a solid .378 against righties. He's done Nothing against lefties, 0 for 16. And look at the power. He has a solid 270 ISO and a 649 slugging. And last season as well, he was great against right-handed pitching. If you look here, he had 25 of his 30 home runs against righties and a solid 277 average. So I do like I like Upton here, and I like some of the Angels bats facing Mike Leake, given his power struggles this season. So that's pretty much it for the video. Those are the 6 players I like. And for stacks today, I think a couple teams really stick out. The Yankees stick out quite a bit. I like the Yankee stack. I like the Astros stack quite a bit. And I like the Angel stack a lot. Those are going to be my top 3 stacks by far on the slate. So that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. You can drop a like if you enjoyed. And good luck today.